Good morning to everybody. Welcome to the communication organization class. This week we'll be looking at the base of grammar. We'll begin with the introduction to grammar, where we look at what we call parts of speech. Now, the objective of this lesson is to introduce students to the concept of part of speech, identify a few of the part of speech that we have, basically nouns, pronouns, adjectives, and a few others. Then we'll look at more into the nouns and then how we use them most importantly. One may ask, what are nouns? But before that, we look at what a concept of part of speech refers to. When we say part of speech, we are referring to how we categorize or group the various words that we use in the English language into their respective groups or families. So we should know that when we mention a word in the English language, it belongs to a group. Like the way when we mention Adomakon, you know where Adomakon come from. When we mention Kwashigan, you know Kwashigan is an ewe. We mention maybe that Daute is a Krobo or Nadangbe. The same thing applies to our words that we use in the English language. For example, you have the sentence Kofi comes home early. Kofi comes home early. In this sentence, the word Kofi belongs to the family called nouns. Comes is a verb. Home is also a noun. And then early is an adverb, telling the time that Kofi comes home. Example 2. You have the sentence, they are going to the market. They are going to the market. Now in this sentence, the word they is a pronoun. Are is a verb. Going is also a verb. To is a preposition. The is what we call a definite article. And the market is also what? A noun. So you see, each of these words belongs to a particular group or family. So in the way we group or identify these words we use in their respective families is what we call the part of speech. Now we should know that there are different parts of speech in the English language. Some of these are nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and a few others. But we'll begin with nouns. We'll look at what nouns are. You and I believe that everything on this earth has a name. Everything on this earth has a name. So basically, nouns refer to the names that we give to people, places, events, ideas, concepts, and what have you. So once you are able to call a particular thing by a particular name, that particular name belongs to the group of words we call nouns. Some examples of nouns we can see are Kuforidia, tomato, philosophy, economics, physics, biology, business communication, economics, and a few others. There are different types of nouns which you must take note of, and each type is handled in a particular way. But now we'll look at how we handle nouns in general, what we call the features of nouns. Because as a communicator in the business entity, you should know what to write. So when you're handling nouns, you handle them properly. Now we should know that there are what we call countable nouns. Countable nouns. They are names of things you can count. But under the countable nouns, we call the regular countable nouns and the irregular countable nouns. For the regular countable nouns, when they are more than one, when the regular nouns are more than one, and you want to indicate their plural forms, what we do is that we add the suffix s, es, or ies to it to show that they are more than one. For example, we have girl, which is singular, and then girls become the plural. We have boys, singular, boys become the plural. We have table, tables. We have city, cities, and a few others. So once we are going to make the plural form of a countable noun, which is regular, when we say regular countable nouns, they are the nouns that will take s, es, or ies to show that they are more than one. Now we have what we call the irregular nouns. In forming the plural forms of irregular nouns, there is no need to add the s, es, or ies to the base or the original noun, as we did in the regular countable nouns. The formation of the plural forms of irregular countable nouns is different. Some of them just have a vowel change in the middle, as in man, man, singular, and then men, men, being the plural. We have tooth, tooh, and then teeth, teeh, teeth, teeth. Now, these are a few examples of the plural forms of irregular countable nouns. Others are child. You can't say childs as a plural form. You can't say children's, no. But the plural form of a child is what? Children. Another example is ox. We have the oxen and a few others. We have mouse, mice. So these are what we call the irregular countable nouns. You can't say children's or men's, no. Another feature of a noun that we should take note is that a noun can take what we call the apostrophe s. The apostrophe s, what other books call the genitive s, to show possessiveness or ownership. So, for example, Kofi has something. You want to write or speak that thing is for Kofi. You can have, say, Kofi's bag, or Kofi's house, or Kofi's phone. In that case, you write the word Kofi, Kofi, then bring the apostrophe s. You can also have ya and Yaspen. Yaspen will have to be ya apostrophe s and then the pen. Now take note. There are times that we have what we call the plural possessive. The plural possessive. So the word or the noun is already in the plural form. I want to show something belonging to that group of what? People or things. So we have girls. The singular is girl, the plural is girls. So when we refer to girls' dormitory, it's between IRLS apostrophe, the dormitory. When we have men's way, man, MAN is singular, men, MEN, that's the plural. The men's way will be MEN apostrophe S, then the way. Take note, in forming the plural forms, the plural possessives, you take note that once you omit the apostrophe sign, you have changed the grammar altogether. So we need to be conscious and particular about where we place the apostrophe sign when we are forming the plural possessives. Now you must be taking note also that nouns take what we call determinants. So you can bring the, mine, our, his, her. These are what we call determinants. You can bring them and then add a noun to it. So for example, you can say the plus man, which gives you the man. We have his plus friend, which gives you his friend. We have mine plus boss, which goes my boss. We have their plus teacher, which is their teacher. So take note of that. You cannot do same for other parts of speech. It is nouns that can take what we call determinants. But we must take note that proper nouns, normally names of human beings, in most cases do not take determinants. So you can't say the Kweku, you can't say maybe the Bismarck. No. But in a case where that proper noun is a surname, that proper noun is a name of people, the particular family, what we call a surname or the family name, then you can bring the definite article the before the surname. For example, you can say the Adomakuns, the Ajimans, the Dongotes, the Frimpons. In that case, it is allowed to attach the definite article the to that surname, wherein it will refer to the people within that particular family. So when we say the Adomakuns is the, then Adomakun, Adomakose, no apostrophe sign. The Adomakuns. And then you are referring to all the people who bear the surname Adomakun. You are saying what? The Ajimans. The plus Ajimans. The Ajimans is capital A, G-Y-E, M-A-N-G, S. Please take the S is not an apostrophe. It is just a suffix we are attaching to it. You say the Ajimans, which means that the Ajimans refers to all the people who bear the surname Ajimans. Then we have the Dongotis. The Dongotis. Now we have the Dongo test, where the Dongo test is DONGOTEYS. The S is not apostrophe, it is just a suffix we are attaching to it. So take note. So when you are writing, you are permitted to bring the definite article there before a surname to refer to the people in that family. Now you must take note that when you are dealing with nouns, when the noun is a proper noun, a name of a person, like your name, my name, the name of other human beings, it is important to know that wherever you write them, they must begin with what? Capital letter. Whether they are beginning the sentence or your write-up, or they are in the middle or the end. Once it is a proper noun, there is the need for you to begin it with a capital letter. So you cannot write the name of a person, the name of a particular hotel, the name of a particular school, the name of a particular event with a small letter. No. Proper nouns, which are specific names of places, events, people, they take what we call what? Capital letters at the initial positions. Take note of that. Then again, when dealing with common nouns, they are not like proper nouns, so you cannot begin them with capital letters. But when you are writing a text or you are putting out a write-up, and then you would begin it with a common noun, then you are permitted to start with a capital letter. Other than that, you are allowed to use small letters at the beginning of common nouns within a write-up or within a text. It would be wrong to write the word maybe holiday in the middle of a sentence, capital H. No. But if you are referring to Holiday Inn as a hotel, then wherever you find it, it must be what? Began with what? A capital letter. These are a few things we should note about what? Nouns. We began by saying that nouns have plural forms, nouns take possessive forms, noun takes article, proper nouns are written with initial capital letters, common nouns are not written with initial capital letters except they are beginning a sentence. So I would like to end the lesson here for this week. But make sure that you go through the slides and the audio. If there are any issues, let me know. Now, in our next lesson, we'll be looking at the various types of nouns at length. We have the proper nouns, common nouns, regular nouns, irregular nouns, countable nouns, uncountable, or what we call the non-count nouns, what we call the abstract nouns, we have concrete nouns, we have collective nouns, and then we have what we call compound nouns. But for me, it is good to know all these types. But so long as our course is concerned, it is how we are able to handle them effectively in our write-ups that will be our focus in our discussion. So in our next discussion, we'll pick each of these noun types. Of course, some of them, if you look at them in the general introductory lesson that we have just had, or look more into them and look at how to handle them when we are writing our test, or we are communicating in any business organization. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to meet you in the next lesson. Until then, bye. Thank you.